Today we're going to see about the IPL opener between the defending champions, the Chennai Super Kings, and the Royal Challengers Bangalore. This was expected to be one of the most spectacular match, and normally when you start a big tournament like IPL, we would always expect a very good competitive cricket match, but that's not how it happened. RCB. So this picture defines perfectly on what happened yesterday because RCB definitely read the pitch wrong and it's a very poor team selection. And even though the both captains didn't have a fair idea of how the pitch would react, but given the fact that there are plenty of cracks on the pitch, it's only ideal that any captain would expect the ball to turn, which is why Mahendra Singh Dhoni has picked up three spinners on his team. And Virat Kohli, on the other hand, left out young and upcoming player like Washington Sundar, who's a very good spinner and been very impressive in domestic circuit, and he also did decently on the international level. And he left out a player like that and brought in somebody like Moeen Ali, who hasn't had big games in India, especially on turning tracks in India. Surprised that he was picked ahead of somebody like Washington Sundar. So Virat Kohli clearly did not have a second specialist spinner who would be effective on a turner. So RCB has completely read the pitch wrong. So it is a belief that once they fired Daniel Vettori, who has been part of RCB for last, for almost a decade. He's been playing various roles like manager, director, advisor, and he's finally gone. Gary Kirsten comes in, and they all thought it's going to change. But unfortunately, it's a very foolish decision from RCB to not to play the second specialist spinner. So that is actually a one big mistake from their point of view. If you can see the scorecard, every single batsman except Parthiv Patel has gone out for a single digit. It almost looks to me like a phone number. 10 names, 10 single digit numbers. It almost looks to me like a phone number. Thanks to Parthiv Patel. Otherwise, RCB would have been all out for a very embarrassing total, which would probably difficult to come from. So you can see Parthiv Patel is literally the only guy to get into double-digit figures, and he also gave eventually in the 18th over. On the Chennai Super Kings, on the other hand, they've been very, very happy. Dhoni, despite being unsure of how the pitch would behave, had still managed to get three spinners after watching the lot of cracks on the surface. So that really shows how street smart Mahendra Singh Dhoni is. So picking Harbhajan Singh at this stage of his career is another masterclass by MS Dhoni. Another highlight of this match is Suresh Raina. So there was a competition going on who will reach the 5,000 runs first in the IPL. So both Virat Kohli and Suresh Raina were on 4,900 and some runs. Fortunately, Virat Kohli got out for just six. Raina continued to play yesterday. Raina got an opportunity and he capitalized it with both hands. And he's been called as Mr. IPL for a reason. And he has gone past Virat Kohli. Now he's the highest run scorer in IPL, scoring 5,000 runs in all the 11 editions combined together. So that is one heck of an achievement by Chinnathala Suresh Raina. Okay, so let's move on to what RCB did wrong. So you have to be lucky at the toss, and if you lose the toss, almost 50% of the match is out of your hands. The next one is a real thing that surprised me. How come all the experienced players like Virat Kohli, AB de Villiers, and you have somebody like Gary Kirsten, who's a World Cup winning coach, all sitting in your dugout, and there's no and there's no communication between the players who got out with the players in the middle. So Virat Kohli got out, AB de Villiers got out, Moeen Ali got out. So once they all got out, they should have immediately told somebody like Hetmeyer, somebody like Parthiv Patel, or the batsmen next to come, like Colin de Granholm, to try to stay in the grease. And this is just 100 runs, 120 runs wicket. Don't panic. Just play slowly. Try to accelerate after the 16th over. That should be the ideal information that should have been sent out from the dugout. But no such thing happened. RCB batsmen went out, tried to play big shots. Playing bold is okay, but you have to be playing sensible. That's what gone wrong yesterday. The lack of communication between the players who got out and the players in the middle. And the management once again failed in this aspect after failing to pick a specialist spinner on a turner like this. And despite getting out for a very low total, they managed to put down a catch, miss an easy run out, which is not acceptable by any standards of cricket. And especially in a low scoring match, when he got out for 70, there might be an outside chance. I mean, who knows? If Ambati Raidu's catch has been taken by Umesh Yadav, if Kedar Jadhav has been run out by Siraj or AB de Villiers, things would have been a lot different. But that wasn't the case yesterday. RCB's fielding was very lazy and very below par. So RCB has lost a seventh straight match against CSK, and their losing streak continues since May 24, 2014. Now that is definitely going to be a very, very big barrier to break in the future cases to win consistently against big teams like CSK, MI, and KKR. So this is one area that they really have to improve. And a very embarrassing defeat the opener of the tournament to a trophyless team like RCB is not going to do them any favors. So they're completely outplayed by their opponents, and there is no positive thing to take from this. And Virat Kohli mentioned the attitude that the players showed in the field, but I don't really think they have showed any attitude whatsoever. I mean, it went to 17th over because Chahal bowled well, which cannot still be taken as a positive because he didn't attack much. He just trying to bowl a little bit on the off stump and the outside off stump line, which is unnecessary. He should have completely went for the leg and middle line. So that's that. But apart from that, I don't see any positives from RCB's body language or attitude, dropping catches, missing runouts, not really saving many boundaries or something. So I think RCB has to improve a lot. This is definitely a conference shattering defeat. So let's see how they're going to come up with this and play better. They should have a very good game plan. I think Gary Kirsten should jump in more and assist Virat Kohli in these aspects. That's pretty much it from RCB. Now let's go on to the Chennai Super Kings. So what could possibly go wrong for the defending champions? They got a lucky start. They obviously won the toss and got really lucky. So if you look at the record, Chennai has always started up with a win. And there was like one odd season that they lost the opening match, if my memory serves right. One thing I loved about Chennai Super Kings is how they picked three spinners, despite not being sure of how the pitch would behave. That's full credit to the team management and the MSD. Another interesting fact here is both Deepak Chahar and Harbhajan Singh started the bowling for Chennai, and they completed their quota in a single spell. In 8 hours, they completed both their 4 hours, and this happened the last time for Chennai Super Kings was way back in 2013, which goes on to show how good they bowled and how better they made use of the conditions out there. So one negative point yesterday for the Chennai Super Kings is they could have properly chased it down rather than just trying to be slow, trying to go for a big shot. They're pretty unclear on what they really want to do. It's very clear that they struggled, despite the fact that RCB did not bowl well and did not field well. They really struggled. Watson was not expecting that kind of pace from Navdeep Saini, somebody who's as experienced as Watson is expected to cope up with the pace. I mean, it's natural to get hit on one ball. That he's not expecting an Indian seamer to bowl at 140, which is ideal. But once he knows he's bowling at 140, Watson should have coped up and tried to play him smart, which he didn't. Navdeep Saini had a decent day, despite not being able to pick a wicket yesterday. But the run chase could have been a lot better. Watson got out cheaply. His partner Ambati Raidu stayed, and then he just gave it to the pressure. If you're going to play the waiting game, then you have to go for the waiting game. You have to go for the singles. You should not try to hit it over the top. But 5 balls, you got dot balls, and a 6 ball, you're going out of frustration and going for a sweep shot. It got a top edge, and it almost carried to this fine leg to Umesh Yadav, but he's lucky that Umesh Yadav has missed it. Had the catch been taken, who knows? Anything could have happened. So Amati Raidu slipped. And then Suresh Raina was playing well. There's no necessary for that shot. He's nowhere near the pitch of the ball. And he still went on to hit it and managed to find a fielder at long on. Those kind of shots can be totally avoided. Despite the fact that Raina played superbly yesterday, he's one batsman who did not find it difficult to play the ball. And but he still went along with the shot, trusting his power and timing. But this is not the kind of pitch where you can play such shots. If you play it down very sensibly and done it with singles and took a minimum amount of risks, then Chennai Super Kings could have won it by a big margin, which would obviously boost up their net run rate. It's always good to give Ravindra Jadeja some match practice, but at the cost of net run rate is another big question mark. And I don't really understand that Ravindra Jadeja hasn't done with the bat very well in the past. I mean, there are like one or two matches he played well in 50 overs format for Team India, and he had a very good record in the first class cricket in test matches. But when it comes to T20, I never seen Ravindra Jadeja playing big knocks or a very useful knock or a very crucial knock in the past. So just trying to make him bat and giving him repeated opportunity is only really frustrating to see as a fan. Because if I were the captain, I would definitely give it to Deepak Chahar or even somebody like Shradul Thakur. Let them face some ball with the bat. If you're going to try an experiment, then you have to do it with them. Those two players are youngsters, and they deserve the opportunity more than Ravindra Jadeja. I think Dhoni is trying to overpush Ravindra Jadeja, but I don't think Ravindra Jadeja is going to shine with the bat. He's an excellent fielder. He's a very good bowler, but he's definitely not the batsman that Dhoni and the CSK management is expecting him to be. So I think it's time to let go of Ravindra Jadeja, the batsman. And if you're going to pick him, he's going to play as a bowler and an excellent fielder. That's more than enough. And of course, he can accompany any batsman at any given day. Okay, moving on. So, the last but not least, Dhoni has made a valuable point in the presentation ceremony. He was spot on about the pitch. That this CSK won comfortably, but still he was not happy with the pitch because Dhoni knows it. On any given day, any team can win the toss, and if CSK loses the toss on a pitch like this, and if the team, say for example, you're playing against a strong spin attack like Kings 11 Punjab or a strong bowling attack like Sunrisers Hyderabad, then your team is going to be in a very, very big trouble. And given the kind of batsmen that CSK has, most of them are big hitters or would like to play a bit of aggressive cricket. So, given the kind of batsmen that they possess, this kind of pitch, batting first against quality spin attack, it's definitely not going to be a good thing for Chennai Super Kings. So, the pitch creators should take this in mind and try to ease the pitch out. It's always good to have the ball turning on a pitch, but this one is almost looking like a day three pitch of a test match. So that is something pitch creators should take this in mind and try to change it as much as possible. So that's a very thumping win for the Chennai Super Kings, and of course a very heartbreaking defeat for the RCB. And if you're an RCB fan, you would be disappointed. And of course, they started trolling RCB since the first game yesterday, and all over the social media. So I think that's going to continue for a while. And that's pretty much it in this video. Let's catch up with another match. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. Please don't